I think we all want to support Bill Gates, Mike. The guy's, you know, struggling.
He didn't send Katy Perry to space. I mean, what's he even doing anymore?
I don't know. He's falling down on the job. But we can go back to some of his greatest creations like Windows 3.1 and enjoy it now on a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color if you want to actually be able to see it. You can't really do much on a Game Boy, but the Game Boy Color, a little reaches that. But so I'm a little confused. Ruben Retro Gaming Shop ES. I'm not sure exactly who's distributing it. We're going to provide a link to Etsy where you can actually order this. But there is a um, Game Boy Game Boy Color cartridge that does a pretty good simulation of the Windows 3.1 experience, very targeted experience, but certain things, including Minesweeper, which I guess for all the huge number of Windows 3.1 fans that watch Bog Panda on a regular basis, was the news you were waiting to hear is that you can play Minesweeper on your Game Boy Color. So I'm assuming you're going to rush out and get this right away because you're a big Minesweeper guy, I'm guessing.
I actually do really like Minesweeper.
Until I watched this video, I had no idea how you played Minesweeper.
Most so he hit on something really important, which is most people don't know how to play Minesweeper. I remember playing it a bunch of times before somebody finally explained it to me. So for anybody who doesn't know, when you click on something, if you click on a space and there's nothing there, it'll give you some numbers around it. That's the number of bombs that are in that area. So you have to try and clear the area, going based off of those numbers, clear it in sort of grid sections until you clear the whole field. If you're positive of where a mine is, you can put a flag on that spot as well to get some extra points. Again, would have had no idea. I played Minesweeper a bunch of times. I just thought it was fun. But once somebody told me, I'm going to say it got better and worse at the same time because then on the smaller screens, you can control the screen size. On the smaller screens, it got too easy for me once I learned how to actually play it. So I had to start increasing the difficulty. And then it took me out of it. But I have to be honest, this whole package is something that I need.
Yeah, I'm thinking of creating a version for to add to Bog Panda Vision of Lie Sweeper, where people are going to go through and look for somebody's lies or try and avoid somebody's lies. And I don't want to tell too much of the story right now, but I think Lie Sweeper could be a great game.
No
So
lies here, sir.
we'll have to see what we can do about that. That might be something. No, I'm not gonna be able to ever make anything on the 2600. I keep looking. I fiddle with it for a few minutes and I go back to working on a Doom map because I'm just like I can have success over here. I can see a
It
product.
is crazy. Like as somebody who's now overseen people who are way better at programming through four slapdash games and one spinoff on the NES. Why is 2600 the hardest system to program for versus everything else?
And there seemed to be at one point kind of a nice little plug-in or addition to Visual Basic that simplified some of it to where like the character generation and stuff, it kind of made it a little more attainable for it spit out all the hieroglyphics that become an Atari 2600 program. But that's gone. Can't get that anymore. You can get kind of some of the building blocks for it, but at the end of the day, you're having to slog through. I mean, now if anybody's watching who's like saying, "No, here's some high-end Atari 2600 development platforming," send it my way, man. I need it. I need it bad. But
Or even better, if somebody watching this is like, I'm great at programming 2600 games, just get in touch with us.
yeah, 100%. Because as much as I have my issues with Slapdash, I do want to see it on the 2600. I think it's a perfect 2600 game. So we need to make that happen. So yeah, if you happen to have the expertise, I might be willing to share or trade with you a large Alice Cooper group reunion T-shirt. Be coming my way soon. We can talk. We can make a deal. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. It's not dirt cheap to do. I think it would be great. I don't on the Game Boy itself. It looks like the only experience is like Minesweeper, and that's it.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color, you can do a few more things with it, and it's just pretty cool. It's boxed to kind of be very similar. The cartridges tries to emulate the 3.5-inch diskette in a lot of ways. So super cool, really clever. Somebody kind of came up with it. What a kind of ingenious, fun thing to do. But we wanted to just kind of share it with you because it seems pretty fun. If you've got a Game Boy, I'm sure on a chromatic, it's going to be amazing experience. And so,
You were
but
holding aluminum in your hands when you did this. Uh,
the way Windows is supposed to be experienced, encased in aluminum. So it'd be excellent. But I mean, were you surprised by this at all, or excited about it at all? I mean, so you
yeah,
sound like you're a
I'm actually
Minesweeper guy.
excited about this. Yeah. So I really liked that era of Windows, and I hated Windows 95. I hated Windows 95. I really only got okay again with Windows more recently because basically 95 until the more recent versions, what is it, Windows 10 or whatever it is now? Um, Anything in between was terrible, in my opinion. It was a necessary evil because I don't like Macs, but yeah, it just never the functionality was never there again, in my opinion.
Yeah, and there were like some super weird versions of Windows too. There was like a Windows ME, and
Yeah, they started throwing in like weird letters. I didn't even know what any of it stood for.
yeah, so yeah, I mean the current ones, current versions are, I mean it's no Amiga Workbench, but it's okay. It's a good operating system, and
Give me a DOS prompt. That's
that's
all
right,
I want.
absolutely. Which you get with this cartridge. It's kind of a fake DOS prompt, but it gives you the experience because a lot of folks don't remember, possibly because they weren't born yet back in the day. Your Windows experience might begin at a DOS prompt having to type in WIN to get it to fire up. So that was a thing. Kids, we had to walk uphill to the computer and type in WIN. This tough stuff.
If if I remember, and maybe it was Windows 3.5 that we had on our gateway, Windows would launch first, and then you had to exit Windows to get your DOS prompt.
That would make sense. I think initially, once yeah, I think it's somewhere in there. That's probably true. I mean, there was always kind of the shell you can bring up to get into
Mhm.
DOS land within Windows and all that. So, but no, this is super cool. We'll provide a link to it. Like I said, I'm not really sure. It's an Etsy store and Ruben's involved, and that's where we're sending you. It looks pretty, poke around there a little bit and going to go up to their store. There's some interesting things out there, but this seems pretty cool. It's probably if this is a skip it listed buy it, it's going to be a skip it for me. I respect the cleverness and it's pretty cool, but I'm going to probably be able to get now that I know how to play Minesweeper. I would actually like to play it, but probably figure a way to get on my Super Console X do that on my
Yeah,
RG35.
can you play Minesweeper? Like, is that still is there a Minesweeper, 2K6 or something like that that's out?
Yeah, it should be like all the enhanced Atari games that they've kind of thrown out there. There should be an enhanced Minesweeper, and it probably is. So we just ran out of time to do the deep research we're known for to let you know what the current state of the art Minesweeper is. But let us know in the comments if you're a Minesweeper fan.
And if we find like a new version of Minesweeper, that's got it. We should so either way, we should Panda review Minesweeper.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, and there's got to be like it has to be 100 different online versions of Minesweeper out there you can play for free. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we can do. And I wonder there had to be an Amiga Minesweeper, but I don't. don't recall because again, I never played it. So we'll have to see, but we'll see. Yeah, we definitely need to do a Minesweeper one. We'll have to decide whether it's OG Minesweeper or Minesweeper 2000 or virtual Minesweeper. So
Minesweeper 64.
yeah, yeah, the Nintendo version was awesome. So we'll see. Anything else on this thoughtful and information-rich discussion, sir?
No, I mean, if it's skip it listed buy it, it's at least a listed leaning hard towards buy it for me. And I mean, how is there not? You have to go on your Oculus, I think, and look for Minesweeper.
100%.
there's got there's got to be Minesweeper Quest out there.
Yeah, I'll be good. Reaching doing this. It'll be good. Yeah.
You just physically press each button.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun. Yeah. We'll do. I definitely need to check that out because I've got to imagine there's something. Like I said, I'm also sure I'm one Google search away. Speaking of Google search, nobody's told Mike and I how to play Doom from the Google search bar yet. We asked for this many, many shows ago, and you've all let us down. We're very disappointed in every one of you at this point in time.
Shame.
We will forgive you. No, we won't forgive you. We will hate you less if you like and subscribe to that. If you want to go up a notch from us just not hating you as much, go to the merchandise store, buy a t-shirt. You go up a little bit more. Then you go to Hard No, the world's shortest podcast. It's less than a minute. You have no excuses. You've got to watch it. Watch about 100 of those. And then we're good again. Does that sound about right?
Sounds right.
Yeah. But, and tell us how. Because people have figured it out except us, and no one's talking. It's very irritating. Very irritating. Now I got that out of my system. You got anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I think we both need to jump off and start working on our notes for that Minesweeper Panda review.
Damn straight. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bog Panda.